welcome back to my channel and happy Monday. For those that don't know me, my name is Kristen Martin. I'm the Amazon best-selling indie author of 4 books, a writing coach, a podcaster, and a YouTuber. I created this channel in March of 2015 in the hopes that it would inspire and motivate aspiring authors and to provide insight to help you avoid costly mistakes along your author journey like the ones that I made. So today's topic is one that I am very familiar with, and I have a feeling that for most of the people watching, you've probably experienced this at some point or another with your writing as well. And that is dealing with anxiety as a writer. So just to give some background on myself and my own issues with anxiety, I really didn't have much anxiety in middle school. I would say my anxiety started to really kick in high school, and then in college it was just on a whole new level. And then it sort of faded away a little bit once I graduated and got into the corporate world, but there were still a lot of situations where my anxiety would be triggered, and I've kind of figured out what those triggers are. So I've removed those from my life, or I've tried to remove them, make them less frequent. And I've actually learned after doing some research that anxiety and excitement are actually very similar feelings, but it's the frame in which we're viewing whatever the situation is. So usually when you're more nervous about something, say public speaking, you're getting up to give a presentation, or you're meeting people for the first time where you're really nervous about it, or maybe it's something that you don't want to do. I found that when it comes to anxiety, if I'm feeling anxious, it's usually because there's something lingering that I feel like I need to get done or I need to go do, but I don't really want to do it. Whereas when you have feelings of excitement, normally it's something you're looking forward to. So I get excited but still have nerves when I'm about to travel, especially if I'm going out of the country, but I don't get anxious about it because I'm framing it in a different way in my mind. So because I'm looking at it as more of a positive experience and something that I want to do, it's actually still nerves, but it's a feeling of excitement. When I feel anxious is when there's something lingering that I don't really feel like doing, or I'm nervous or just anxious about it in some way, shape, or form, and it kind of has that negative framing around it. So today I want to talk about 4 steps that I have implemented into my life, not necessarily to get rid of anxiety, because I honestly don't believe you can truly rid yourself of anxiety. I think it's just a part of being a human being, but I feel like you can channel it into your work, into your writing, and channel it into a more positive space into your work. So the first step, of course, is to acknowledge its presence. This is really just you taking a deep breath, saying, hey, anxiety, I see you, I definitely feel you, and I know I can't get rid of you because I'm human. Instead, I'm going to try to understand you and understand what's triggering me to feel this way, and hopefully that will ease the effect anxiety has on me. Step number 2 is to get to the root. So this can be kind of a difficult one because I have had full-blown anxiety and panic attacks before where they say a lot of the time it feels like you're having a heart attack, and I really thought this was happening. I was hyperventilating. My face was really pale. I could feel the color draining from my face. I had spots in front of my vision. I felt like it was going in and out, and I just felt, it's almost like you feel like you're dying and you have this sense of dread and you have absolutely no idea why. So in that particular case, I found that the reason why I was feeling so anxious was because it was the week before my birthday. I had some travel coming up. I had this kind of underlying feeling that I wasn't where I thought I was going to be at that age. And so I think just having that expectation on myself, and then it being my birthday and knowing I was about to go into another year being in a space that I wasn't expecting, really just weighed on me, and all of my nerves and everything inside just freaked out, and I had a panic attack. So there will be a root for your anxiety, the root cause of your anxiety, and you need to take the time to figure out what that root is. So for writers, maybe you've taken too long away from your manuscript and you're feeling anxious and a little bit worried that you're not going to be able to get back in the same headspace as you were 4 or 5 months ago when you started writing your book. Or maybe you're already published and there's a bad review of your book and it's just kind of stuck with you, and every time you sit down to write, your self-doubt takes over and every word you spit onto paper you think sucks. Or maybe you had a not so ideal writing session one day and you ended up scrapping the entire scene, and you're dreading sitting back down and writing your manuscript because you're afraid that the same thing is going to happen again. There's always a root cause for the way we are feeling. So if you can sit down and identify, and you have to be really brutally honest with yourself, you're probably not going to like the answer because it all stems from fear. And I know a lot of us don't like to think that we're afraid of things, but we are. Again, that's part of human nature. So get to the root cause of your anxiety, and once you can do that, step 3 is to take out a piece of paper and write down the absolute worst thing that could happen if you were to skip over that fear and anxiety. So basically, if you were to ignore it, what is the worst thing that could happen? So using the examples I previously mentioned, if you feel ill-prepared because you've taken quite a bit of time away from your manuscript, the absolute worst thing that can happen is that you're going to spend more time than you expected re-familiarizing yourself with your story. And maybe you're going to end up taking a full day that you wanted to write. Instead, you're going to take that full day to reread and kind of get back in tune with your plot, your story, your characters, and the flow. Really not that bad, huh? If a bad reviews got you down, then the absolute worst thing that could happen is that you're going to stumble upon another bad review. And while that does suck, you've already read one. So in a sense, you're almost prepared, and it's not like you can't handle another one. You didn't die because of that bad review, you're still breathing, and everything is going to be just fine. I would recommend going to read 4 and 5-star reviews of your book and then get back to writing. And if you had a bad writing session last time where you ended up scrapping an entire scene or chapter, the absolute worst thing that can happen is that you're just going to have another bad writing session. But there's also a chance that you can knock that writing session out of the park and get back in flow and really feel everything you need to feel to make your story shine. You won't know if you don't try. So once you've done that, move on to step 4, which is really important, and that is to write down the absolute worst thing that could happen if you do listen to that anxiety. In all of the examples above, if you let your anxiety control your life and your actions, you'll never reach your goal of writing the darn book. I have to say, of all the worst case scenarios, that is the worst one. I would much rather have 8 crappy writing sessions consecutively than to never finish writing my book. I'd rather scrap 50% of my book than never finish writing my book. I'd rather get all bad reviews on my books than never finish writing my book. Seriously, the absolute worst thing that could happen is that I never finish writing the book. Because when you really think about it, when writing is your passion, there's no worst case scenario that's worse than never finishing writing your book. So that is it. Those are my 4 steps to handle anxiety as a writer. If you guys like the content today, please make sure to give this video a thumbs up to support my channel. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any future writing advice videos. Don't forget that in next Monday's video, March 26th, I will be revealing the title, cover, and release date for my personal development book. So make sure you tune in because you won't want to miss that. All of my Amazon best-selling books, The Alpha Drive, The Order of Omega, Restitution, and Shadow Crown, are available for purchase on Amazon and Barnes & Noble, as well as the Book Depository and Books A Million. You can also order signed copies of all of my books. For more information on how to get your hands on autographed copies, please go to my website at KristenMartinBooks.com and click on the Buy Books tab on the menu bar. If you are a fan of audiobooks, make sure to check out my affiliate link with Audible in the description box below. You can get a free audiobook download and a free 30-day trial for their service. Who doesn't love free stuff? So make sure you check them out. In case you didn't know, my self-study coaching program for writers called VALIANCE launched on January 15th, and registration is still open. To reserve your spot and make your dream of becoming an author a reality, go to my website at KristenMartinBooks.com and click on the VALIANCE Coaching Program tab on the menu bar. There is a freebie up on my other website at ThatSmartHustle.com called 5 action steps you can take right now to start showing up for your dreams. And if you benefit from that guide, then you will absolutely love my mini webinar series called Hustle Smarter, Not Harder. To learn more, read testimonials, and sign up, go to ThatSmartHustle.com and click on the webinars tab on the menu bar. And if you just can't get enough of the girl boss vibes, make sure to check out my podcast called That Smart Hustle. It's available on iTunes and SoundCloud, and there are over 30 episodes available for you to listen to. The links are in the description box below. If you're not already following me on Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat, make sure you do that for daily writing inspiration and advice, as well as to stay up to date on any price promotions, announcements, or giveaways that might be going on. If you have any questions or think of a topic for one of my next videos, please leave it in the comments down below. Again, I want to thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button on your way out. I post new writing advice videos on Mondays and personal day in the life vlogs on Thursdays. I will see you guys next time. Bye.